Hello, this is Bryce Jeffery for MBJ Law in Langley, British Columbia, and thank you for looking at this vlog. It's the first one that we're doing and attaching to our website to give an idea of how some of the legal work that we do works. And this first topic is a conveyance. You often hear everybody saying, well, I got to get a conveyance for my purchase. And I thought it might be interesting to explain what the components of a conveyance are. So to do that, it's probably best to go right back to the beginning. You're out in the market, you're looking for a piece of property, you're with a realtor or on your own, and you find the house or the condo that best suits you. So you say, okay, let's see if we can purchase that. So what you'll end up doing is making an offer on a standard form contract, usually provided by the realtor, and the realtor is usually going to fill that out for you. And it'll include price, it'll include closing date, possession date, and any subject clauses that you wish to add to subject to mortgage, because you may not have your financing yet. Anyway, then you may enter a period of negotiation because your offer may not be for full price, and the seller might go, yeah, I'm interested in selling, but that's not enough money. So then they may counteroffer your offer, and by initialing and changing certain things on the contract, and it could be a back and forth on that for several times. Anyway, once you have a mutuality of minds, and as we say legally, and you have a firm contract, then somebody contacts a lawyer like ourselves and says, okay, can you do the conveyance? And our answer is always yes. So we take the information from the contract and from other sources, from the municipality. We find out what the taxes are, the property taxes, and whether they're paid or unpaid. And then we calculate what the property transfer tax would be, whether there's any exemptions for that. And we can talk about property transfer tax perhaps on another vlog. And we create a document which is very important to you because it's called Statement of Adjustments. And in it, we've got all the debits and credits that deal with where your money's coming from and how much you need and how much money is actually going out to the seller. So that's kind of a little bit of an in-house way it's done, but when it's explained to you from us, it'll kind of make sense, and it'll be a one-stop document where it'll include everything from property tax adjustments to legal fees to paying the seller, and as part of that, your deposit and your down payment and your mortgage money. It'll all be calculated in there. So then in the end, there'll be one check of equity money coming in from you to make the deal work. So rather than having to run around and pay this person and that person, we'll say, okay, and we'll explain to you and say, okay, you need $15,000 or whatever it is, and the rest is the mortgage, and the rest is deposit you've already made, and go from there. So that's important, but what we also draw is we draw the transfer document, which we send to the other side to be signed so we can be in a position to get it registered. And we do all of those kinds of things on lawyers' undertakings. So we undertake not to register the document, for example, that transfers the property into your name until we're in a position to give money to the other side. So that's the process that allows a conveyance to work, because otherwise somebody would say, well, give me the money first, then I'll give you the title, and that's like, who do you trust? So we do it by the way of lawyers' undertakings, which are sacrosanct to lawyers, very, very important, and we can't breach those. So that makes the whole process work. So when we get the information back from the other side, and particular to the transfer, and the completion date comes, then we register it, we get the title in your name, we get the money exchanged, and we can report out to you verbally at first, and then send you documents later as they come in from land title. One thing sometimes you may want us to be involved in before we actually start the conveyancing process is if you want us to review the contract or the title. Either the realtor will have a copy of the title, or we can get it off the computer, and just to check to see if there's anything on there that should be of concern to you, like a right-of-way or a covenant which is like a legal promise to build a house in a certain way, or what have you. Quite often you'll find that on the titles there's just standard things like the mortgages that have to be discharged, because we'll have to get the seller's mortgage discharged, those sorts of things. So that's what we do, and that's a conveyance, and we'd be happy to do yours. And it's Bryce Jeffery for MBJ Law here in Langley. Thank you.